Okay, welcome everyone to the Freedom Family team call on a Wednesday night. Kelly is not here. She is traveling down to New Orleans this week, and so I volunteered to take her place. And since I am learning some new stuff about some things, I thought I would teach on that. And this is some of the getting started right basics of how to get started in your business and kind of what that all means, but also a little bit on something that I learned just a couple days ago in a call with Summer Tucker with the success equation, and I'll get to that later. But so what we're going to do tonight is just talk about kind of the basics of what it means to run a business and how to do that. So those of you who are coaches for a while, this is going to be a repeat, but that's all right. It's just, it might be something that you've heard before and something that you can teach to your coaches also, where you can share this with them. And we are going to be having a coach, it'll either be a coach workshop or it will be a coach webinar that we're going to have next week. If anybody wants to invite to that to add to your team. I'm not quite sure what we're going to be doing because Kelly's going to be coming. She's not going to be running it. And so the people that are, those of us that are running it need to figure out how we're going to be doing that. So just kind of keep that on your radar. So as you do your posts this week and as you think about that stuff, maybe make some posts that are about your team and team building so that you can invite to your team. And we have a couple of new people here. Darcy is new. She's waving. Hi, Darcy. Darcy is new to our calls for coaching. And has anybody else not been to a call before, or has everybody else been here? I think everybody else has been here before. So, okay, welcome, Darcy. We're glad to have you. Always glad to have new people getting started. And so some of this stuff might be overwhelming to you and it might be repeat for other people. So you might just need to listen to it again later. So I'm going to share my screen because I actually wrote some of this down because I think it would be easier to see it as I talk about it. And I'm going to try doing that. There. All right, let's see if it works. Nope. Is it working? Okay, good. All right. Basics for getting started. So if you are new to coaching, these are the basics for getting started. If you can, I hope you can see this. I assume that you can. The basics for getting started is you are going to be posting about your journey. These are the things that you, what your idea is that you want to have posts that will help people see themselves in your journey, whether it's your faith, your fitness, your food, your nutrition, something about your journey. It can be your family. It doesn't have to be just about these things, but kind of what you need to do is think about the things that are important to you. And those are the things that we post about. There need to be some point during the week, there needs to be some sort of a transformation post, whether it's transformation of your body, mind, spirit, day, however this is changing your life. So like for me, it's changed how my family even sets up our physical structure of our home. We don't have furniture in our family room so that we can have fitness in there. It's changed how we sit down for dinner and how we serve dinner. And it's changed how my kids look at nutrition and how they look at food. We don't look at it as good and bad anymore like we used to. I used to look at the food and say, that's bad. You can have it, but that's bad food. I don't do that anymore. It's a treat. You can have it. That's fine. There's no good or bad that comes with food anymore. So there are lots of ways to talk about your journey. It does not have to be, here's my before and my after. It can be so many different things, and it's important to think of all the different ways that you can talk about the changes that have taken place because of either Beachbody or your relationship with your coach or your relationship with your food or your learning to do mindset stuff so that you have, I did a live video in my group today on mindset, on trying to think like an athlete or think like a healthier person and trying to change your mindset. Those are all things that would be fabulous posts because people can see themselves in your before or somewhere in the middle ground and see where they can get to in the after. That's what they want. And that's what we want for them. We want to help them and guide them we're not looking to be the hero of their story. We're looking to have them be the hero of their story, and we're looking to help them get there. So, and I can't, in case anybody wonders, I can't see the comments. So if there are comments, somebody just needs to unmute and say it. Okay. So that's the stuff about your posts. So when I write my posts now, I try to write them as, how can I help somebody become the hero of their story? How can I get them to see themselves in my story and then guide them to the end result of where at least I am now, and hopefully they will get even farther. Now, every day we do 3 things. We connect, we add, and we invite. So ads are the new friends. However many you want to make a day is up to you, but you need to be getting new eyes on your information and on you every day. They're not buying the products. They're buying the relationship with you, the time they get to spend with you, and they're going to be looking to find you, not just the stuff that you sell and the stuff that you do. So making new friends is vital. If you want to make 1 new friend a day, that's totally fine. You need to do what's comfortable for you and what's manageable so you don't get overwhelmed when you sit down to work. But that's up to you. I do 3 a day, and I don't do them every day, but I try to do 3 a day. Connect with friends. This is the same. Connections are just talking to the people that are like your Facebook friends or your Instagram followers. Connecting with those people, commenting on their posts, wishing them happy birthday, wishing them happy anniversary, and just starting genuine conversations with them. You don't need to be their best friend, but connecting. There are lots of ways to connect with people. You guys are all here. You connected with your coach. You connected with the people on the team. It's not hard to do. So you connect with your friends, however you want to do that. I do 9 of those a day. That seems like a lot. The general guideline is 2 connections, 2 invites, and 2 ads a day. So 2 new friends, 2 new conversations, and 2 invites. Inviting friends to join you. Number 4, however many you want to do is up to you. You need to do at least a couple of coach invites a week. Building your team is the fastest way to reach more people, to ripple out, and to have more of an effect in the world around you. And it's so amazing that we can do this from our homes. We get to do this. We get to invite people, and it seems like it's hard, but really, we get to change people's lives. We get to help them change their lives. We get to be that guide so that they can be the hero in their story. It's so amazing. What else could be better? And we get to do it with our kids around us, from our houses, while we exercise. It doesn't, I'm amazed that I used to find it so challenging to invite people, when now I feel like I am offering them like a gift, a chance at taking better care of themselves. And then you follow up with the people you invited yesterday. You do your workout, you drink your shake, you listen to personal development, and you keep growing. And that's really the basics for doing your business. This might take you an hour with the workout and the personal development and growing and all that stuff, maybe an hour and a half with your workout, or an hour and 45 minutes. But the first 5 should take about an hour. They may take a little bit longer the first couple times you do them, because you just kind of have to wrap your head around, what does my voice sound like? What do I want people to hear? How do I want to invite, and how do I want to connect with them? Do I want to say, you know, I see that you've been doing this. Would you be interested in leveling up your fitness? Or do you want to say, I see that you have postpartum depression. I went through that. Here's what I can talk to you about, or here's how I can help you. You have to find your voice and what the most important part of your story is, and how you'd like to connect with people. That's great. You can do that. And those are kind of the basics of what to do. There are lots of ways to track, and if you look in the team page, there are lots of trackers. It's important to use a tracker. Hold on, let me see if I can go to the next page. Ha, tracking, look, whole page on it. track your names. I am a tracker. I track on Google Sheets. I have Google Sheets tracking for 4 years back. I can look back 4 years and find Jen Tiller's name on my pages 3 years ago, because when her coach kind of petered out, I was like, she's going to join me. Jen is going to join me, and I'm just going to keep tapping on her shoulder until she's ready. And I have her name. I could probably show it to her, but it respects the people that are in your life, because you are taking the time to be thoughtful and considerate. You're not being kind of spammy and stuff to write their names down like you're going to sell them. You are sharing an opportunity with them, and you are giving them a chance to change their life. So many people feel so stuck. And when we invite them and then don't talk to them again because we don't come back, we have done them a disservice. We have offered them an option, and maybe they were scared to say yes, but they were ready to. And we didn't go back and say, hey, what do you think? Because we didn't write their name down. So if you write their name down, you can go back and look at it, and you can go, I have to follow up with them. I need to say, hey, what do you think? Because I already invited them. And it's vital to go back, because you've given them an opening, and they might be scared and they might not know what to do. And so it's so important to go back and find that name on the list and go, I have to follow up with them. And so I track everything. I track them all, and I go back, because if you're talking to 9 people a day, you're going to have a really hard time finding the people that you invited, so that you can then remember to follow up with them later. And so I have their names written down, and I go back, and sometimes I go back a month, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to get them. And I go back, and I'll see that they said yes, and I missed it. My kids had my phone, or somebody was doing something on my phone, and I missed it. And I have to be like, I am so sorry, but I'm here to follow up now. I'm here to check in now and see if you're ready. Okay, let's see. Yes, remembering the names of all the people you invite is going to be very overwhelming eventually. It might not be initially. Initially, you might only have a couple of names, and you can keep them all in your head. But you're going to, after a bunch of months, it's going to be overwhelming. And it's really important that you have new names of people that you're inviting. You're not inviting the same 10 people over and over and over again. So you need to have a list so that you make sure you're not doing that. You're not inviting the same 10 people 100 times, but also so you can follow up with them. All right, tracking. It's important. Do it. Okay, now, Summer Tucker, who is our upline, blah, 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 about up higher, she gets all fired up, and she gets all screamy and yelly about this. I'm not going to do that, because I don't do that. But she has a equation that goes with this, and I'm going to teach it because I've never taught it before, and I think I need to learn it better, so I'm going to teach it. So this is one of those things where you try to figure out, why am I, and this is me, why am I not farther in my business than I am when I think I should be farther ahead? And so I asked her when I was on a call last night with her, and here's the formula: consistency plus time plus intensity times belief equals results. And I know it's like a big math equation, and I'm going to do it anyway because it's the belief part that I'm going to talk a little bit about at the end. And so consistency is, here, let's see. Hey, look, I did something. I made a chart. I made one that has things underneath it. Okay. I was going to do arrows, but I couldn't figure out how to make arrows. So you just get this. You just have to look down. So consistency. How often do you do the work that we talked about before? Do you do it daily? Do you do it sometimes? Do you do it weekly? If you're not consistent, if you don't do it daily, you're not going to get results. You might get some results, but you're not going to get the results that you want. You're going to get a little bit of results. It's important that if you pick that you're going to do your power hour 5 days a week, and that's the things that were in that first screen, if you're going to do your power hour 5 days a week, you need to do it 5 days a week. Because if you only do your power hour every Monday and Tuesday, like I used to, like I would start the week strong every week and I'd go Monday, Tuesday, kind of Wednesday, and then I'd poop out until next Monday. I didn't get results because I was being consistent 2 days a week, really. And that's not going to get me anywhere. So your consistency, that's why it's so important to pick just like a small number so you can do it every day. Plus time. How long have you been working the business? So if you've only been working the business for 2 months, you're not going to have the same results as I'm going to have after 5 years. You're not going to have the same results as Kelly after 7 years, or after Megan after 4 years, or whatever people, however long people are in this. But you will get them if you follow this. Your intensity is the number for the goal that you set for yourself. So whatever that is, whether it's 2, 2, 2, so 2 invites, 2 follow-ups, 2 connects, 2 ads, whatever that number is, the higher the number, the faster you'll get results. But don't do something where you go, 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 and then you just all of a sudden crash and burn. That drops off on the consistency, and that's where you're gonna not get the results then. So these are all like Summer talks about it like macaroni and cheese, but I'm going to talk about it like a cake because brownies. Okay. And so consistency is like if somebody gives you the stuff for brownies. So you have the milk and the eggs, and the time is like the chocolate, and the intensity is like the flour and the other stuff that goes in brownies. And they give it to you and they say, here, and they put it in front of you and they say, here's all the stuff that you need for brownies. And then they give you the oven and all the ingredients and all of the mixers and stuff. And they give you the mixer and the oven, and then you don't do anything with it. You don't believe that you can make the cake or the brownies. You don't take the ingredients and you don't mix them together. And you don't put them in the oven. And if your belief is lacking, you're not going to end up with brownies. You're going to end up with a sloppy mess of ingredients sitting over there, not baked. And that's what your belief is. If you don't have belief that you can, that both the products and the fitness work, but also that you can run an amazing powerhouse team, then you're not going to be able to bake the brownies. You're not going to have a team, and you're not going to have the results that you want, because you are going to just be sitting there looking at these ingredients going, I wonder when they're going to make themselves into brownies, because I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can I don't know if I can have a team. I don't know if I can do this. And that's the thing that I learned yesterday was I said, I know that the fitness works, and I know that the shakes work, and that they're amazing, and that they're so good for you, and that yes, they're expensive, but they're a really good deal. So in the long run, they're not really that expensive. But I didn't believe I could run a team that was a powerhouse. Even with Jennifer, who's taking charge of her team, I didn't think that I could be in charge of that. And so I have not invited with the belief that I need to invite with. So the belief that you can be a leader of a team and successful coach, belief the product works, belief that you can help people change their lives. It is the most important part of the equation. Without it, there's a zero, and that makes everything else gone. And that's the case with the brownies, and that's the case with your team, and that's the case with your work. So if you're inviting people, but you don't believe that you can actually help them, they're going to know. They're going to know when you invite them that you don't really believe it or believe that you can help them. And that you'll have less chance of people joining you as a result. So here are some of the ways to build belief. And this is something that I listened to a couple weeks ago from Micah Folsom. She has a podcast called Do Your Crap. So sorry, that's what it's called. And I listened to a podcast on her morning routine. And one of the parts of her morning routine was doing a vision and like it's like affirmations, but not exactly. So I did affirmations for a long time and I found them super hokey. I would write down stuff that I thought I was supposed to write down and I would read it and go, no, I don't believe it. And she had in her podcast a way to do this where you listen to yourself reading your vision of what you'd like your team or your coaching or your family or your marriage or whatever to look like. And so I did that and I've recorded it and I've been listening to it. And it's a little jarring to listen to yourself, but I've been doing it and I'm giving it a shot because I need to build that belief that I can run a powerhouse team, that I can do amazing work, because I know in my head I can, but in my heart I wasn't believing it. Another way that you can do this is to keep a book of proof. So if you have coaches or you have customers who talk to you about how much you've changed their lives and you're feeling like you can't help anyone, and you open up that book and you look at it and you go, I did. I helped Sally. She has lost 50 pounds. I helped Jennifer. She's lost 50 pounds. I've helped this person. They've changed their life. That will help you build your belief. Asking others, the people on our team, how you've helped them seems like it's going to feel hard to do, but really in the long run, it's what needs to happen, because we don't even know the effect that we have on the people around us. We don't know what they think. And if we ask them, can you just tell me something so that I can put it in my book of proof, or so I can read it when I'm having a bad day? Can you just write something for me about how our team or our fitness group or whatever, how it has helped you? It doesn't have to be that I'm the best person in the world. It just needs to be how it's helped, so that when I read it, I know that what I'm doing makes a difference. And I can make that difference in other people's lives as well as the ones that are in my group now. And in the long run, and when we're doing this, just remember that this is not from our own greed, and this is not from our own desires. God put this vision, this team, this group of people on our heart. And all of the cacophony, all of the noise outside of us don't get to dictate how and when we show up. When our husbands say, I want you to spend time with me, and you just say, look, just give me 15 minutes. I have to do this thing because I said I would, and I'm going to keep the promise to myself. Or when your kids need something, I just need 15 minutes. Just give me 15 minutes to get a little bit of this done, and then I can help you. But they don't get to dictate our time. And you can protect that time because God has called us to this. This is not just, I don't know, for me, this is not just like a job and a place to show up. This is just, this isn't just a way for me to make minimum wage or me to do some of that stuff. This is a way for me to help people from my home while my kids are here, while my husband is away at work, and while I'm homeschooling, and I can help them while I do that. And I can make a difference in the world from underneath my own roof. And I've been called to do this. And if it means helping out with Kelly when she's gone, or if it means leading my groups, or if it means humbling myself and letting other people lead in my place, great. Whatever that takes, whatever form that takes. But God put this vision in my heart and on my mind, so nobody else gets to dictate when and how I show up. We are called and we are made for this. And we have to build our belief wherever we can. Oh, that's it. I can stop my screen share. So, oh, I don't know how to stop my screen share. Oh, wait. Oh, gosh.
You're not screen sharing.
You're not.
I stopped. I did stop. Look at that. Okay. All right. So that's really all I have. I don't have really anything else. I know it's kind of short. I'm not a long talker, but this is the basics. And the belief part where I thought before the belief was like the belief in the products. I believe in the products. But the belief part, after talking to Summer and after going to this call, the belief part was really the belief in whether or not I could do this and be successful and what that would mean for my house and my family. And so I'm trying this Think Up app. I'm trying to do these affirmations in a different way. And we'll see. I'm hoping that it will change everything. I'm hoping it will change because I keep running my head into the wall trying to figure out what this means and how to do it and how to make it work better. And so I'm giving something else a shot.
Well, and I think that's one of the great things is anybody can decide what they want their business to be, you know. And so I think that's great, you know, because you want more, you want to do these things, you know, but it's also like, what are your goals for your business? You know, do you want to be just covering your products, or do you want to be, you know, really serving people? And so I think that's part of it too, you know, is kind of what is your vision? Like you said, what is your vision of your own business? Right.
And one of the things I heard in another book I was listening to is how good is good enough for you? How
Exactly.
much do you want? How big do you want this to be, and how good do you want this to be? And you get to pick. You get to pick if you want it to be, you know, you want it to change your whole life and where you live and all that stuff, or you get to pick if you want it to cover your product. But you get to pick how good is good enough for this business, for you and your family and your life and your coaching. And after the longer I do it, the more bigger I want it to be, because the more people I'd like to reach, the more people I would like to have feel that freedom and that joy that they can have if they are feeling like they have control of their body and they're healthy and they are able to do the things in the world that they want to be able to do. So, but you get to pick. And you get to pick who you invite, and you get to pick who you want to have on your team. Did you make me a picture? Thank you. Well, it's not ready yet. It's not finished. Okay, sorry. All right, does anybody have any questions? Or does anybody have any questions? Because I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. I've never taught on the success equation before. It's always kind of not made sense to me because I always thought, well, I had all these parts. And when I asked her about it, I felt really silly asking her on this call with a bunch of these very high up coaches. And I did it anyway because I never understood why I was still where I was when I wanted more.
I'm so glad that you asked that question because I've been thinking it and sitting on those calls with her. I never have the courage to ask anything or say anything to those people. So hearing her response to you was really helpful to me as well. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I'm glad she answered it too. And I'm glad it wasn't just, I'm glad there was more to it than just building belief in the products, because the products are amazing. But if I didn't know if I didn't believe I could help people, it didn't matter how many times I was going to invite Jen if I didn't think I could help her. She probably caught me on a good day when I thought I could help her. Oh, I have to mute myself, children. All right, does anybody else have any questions?
I have a question. So it's Sonia. I feel like I'm super newbie to the coaching thing. I've been watching and following for 4 years now. And where I get really stuck and overwhelmed is, you make these friends, you make these connections, but and maybe I just need to look at and watch a few more power hours, but I have trouble starting a conversation and then just like being done and walking away until the next day. That seems so odd to me. And so I almost want to use the word cold. because I start something and then, oh, I'm not going to talk to them again until the next day, until the next power hour. And I haven't gotten over that cadence, I guess, of how that is okay. And I'm trying to feel that out and figure out how to work through that.
Does anybody else want to answer that? Elizabeth, you don't want to answer it because you were nodding.
I would challenge you to ask yourself, like, why does that make you feel like you're being told?
Well, I think it's because if I throw something out there and I don't have a response back, it's not an immediate thing, but I don't know. There's something about the time. Like if I'm making a connection with a friend and then all of a sudden I go cold turkey on them, you know, it's just like, I don't know what it is about it, but I'm stuck right there. And so then I don't even ask because I don't even want to get into that uncomfortable zone.
I think something that helped me with that is somebody told me, I think it was probably on a call, that when we show even our friends like our boundaries and that like we turn off our phones and we shut off our social media, that it shows them not only like the respect that we have for our time and maybe like our family that we want to go spend time with, but also that like you like, oh gosh, it just slipped out of my head, but you're showing that it's duplicatable for them. So maybe in the future that friend says, hey, if I want to coach, I'm not going to be chained to my phone, or I'm not going to have people that I'm leading that are going to be at my beck and call all the time. Now, my really, really close friends, if they do need something from me, I do give them a little more time. I answer their text messages and they have my phone number to text instead of just like Messenger and whatever. So it's a little different, but I don't know. Does that help?
Yes. And so something that I learned, I think Kelly had an assistant send out some notes even to me. And she said, hey, how are you today? What can I do? You know, it was a pretty standard like coach response, I would say. And I got it and I responded and then I heard nothing from her. And so I think I had a feeling of, wait a second, you just asked me and I responded and then I hear nothing from you. And it took me a minute to realize, I bet she's having someone help her. And the job of that assistant is to literally just make those connections and follow up. And then it kind of put it in perspective, like, okay, yeah, she'll get to me tomorrow. So have some patience. But I don't know. I think maybe I would want to naturally respond. And maybe that's why I'm not doing it, because I don't have my own control to not respond right away and have my own boundaries of myself. But is that really the real frequency? Like you put it out there and then you walk away. I hear that and I just feel like, is that real? Is that really how we do this?
Well, so go ahead, Elizabeth. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, because I'm also a new coach and I struggle a lot with that. Like I send, a message to somebody or I'm working on connecting with them and they respond to me immediately. I was getting sucked into the same thing of like spending 25 minutes talking to one person and then there goes, a huge chunk of my power hour. So what I started doing is I feel anxiety when I open a message from somebody and read it and I don't answer. So, and Facebook Messenger, they can see that you opened it. So what I have started doing with myself is if I send a message and they respond like before I end that like 10 minutes that I do all of my message sending, 10 or 15 minutes, then I will respond one more time to them. And then I kind of just have to close the messenger part of my Facebook. And then it's not, oh, she saw it, but she didn't respond to me, or she's only reaching out to me the one time. So like maybe set a limit on how many responses you'll do and close that part so that you don't see it and you're not anxious about opening it. I don't know if that'll help.
Also, just so you know, you don't have to check every single box. If you have somebody that you think they're ready to sign up, you can forego some of your power hour and sign them up. This is your business. So Sonia, if you think that like your connection,
I'm not there yet.
No, but if you think your connection is going to like lead to that in this 20 minutes, then you don't have to go to the next thing and check the next box. You can take that time because this is somebody who's willing to change their life. But if you're sending out a, hey, how you doing? Happy birthday. Then you can even write them in a way so that they don't think that you're going to respond. Like, just thought I'd say hi, just checking in. And you don't have to respond right away to any of those. It's your time and you need to have those boundaries. And like Megan said, people need to see that you're not on 24/7. You're not at their beck and call. And if they don't know how many teaspoons are in a tablespoon, that's not your job. That's someone else's job. Elizabeth says 3. She's right. Winner, chicken dinner. All right. But you need to know, they need to know that there are boundaries on your time. And you can say, you know what? I would love to continue this conversation tomorrow, but right now I have to go do, who cares? Laundry. It doesn't matter what you tell them. You have to go paint a wall. It doesn't matter. Tell them whatever you want. But
Yeah.
they need to know that this is not all you're doing. So you can make an excuse if you want to, but you're not putting them down or putting them aside. You're protecting your time and doing the next thing, and you'll be back tomorrow. I will check back in, and I've done that in the evening. Sometimes people start messaging me at like 11, and I'm like, you know what? I would love to talk to you right now, but I'm getting ready for bed, and I will check in tomorrow morning. If you have any questions, post them right here, and I will check in tomorrow morning when I sit down to do my work. I'm not putting them off. They know exactly what's going on, and I am moving on to my life because 11 o'clock at night, no, I'm not available. So anybody else have any questions?
I think that they really want to talk to you at that time anyway. That's just the time that they're on to
Right.
respond. So
Right.
I don't really think they want to talk to you that late.
Yeah. So, and then if they have questions, I say, post them right, put them in here, put them in the chat, and I will answer them tomorrow morning when I get back on. And then I'm not answering, but I'm being very honest. This is my time. And I will sit down and work again tomorrow at 11, and I will let you know then. And then they'll know what to expect from me. Anybody else have any questions? That was a good one. Thanks, Sonia. No? Nobody else has any questions? All right. Well, I hope this helps. I hope this helps if you're a new coach. I hope this helps. I hope the belief part helped if you're a more seasoned coach that isn't where you thought you were supposed to be. That's where I was. That's not where I'm going to be later. I'm going to be where I want to be. And I will post when this gets posted. I will put underneath there the podcast that I got some of this from the app that I'm trying it with. It's called the Think Up app, and you can record yourself doing affirmations. It gives you options of ones that I am not using. I wrote my own. I like to do my own thing. I wrote my own because I wanted them to include some of my goals. Like, what do you want? Do you want to buy, like for Micah Folsom, and hers was she wanted to buy a cabin. So her affirmations included some of those visions and goals. I will do this. I am doing this. I am working my business so that I can buy this. That's part of it. And then your brain will start to look for ways to make that happen. So it's not exactly hocus pocus, but we'll see how it goes. All right. Anybody else have anything before I say a prayer before we go? Darcy, thank you for joining us. I know we put you on the spot. Okay. All right. So let's pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of this team, the community that we have, the vision that you've put into our minds and our hearts and our bodies to follow you more closely with this work. Please watch over all of those people that we invite and that we connect with. Help us to have our good intentions first and foremost. Help us to be helping them be the hero of their own story and us be the guides. Please watch over all of our families as we try to do this work and help this bless our families, bless our lives, bless our children. Please watch over Kelly as she travels down to her friend's funeral. And please take care of all of us this week until we come together again next week. We ask these things in your most holy name. Amen. All right. Thank you guys for showing up. It was nice to spend time with you. Talk to you later.